want to say, before I even get started going, really, this is going to be the longest video I post for a long while. It's probably going to top 20 minutes. And it's probably going to be the rantiest video for a while. So before I even get started with the actual video, I'm going to talk about the Becton rumors, right? Or the Becton thing that happened this week. So, hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Jets. For some reason, I don't know why. Now, I'm going to take you back. This is to start about the Becton thing, by the way, that happened this week. I'm going to take you back to, 2010. It's the summer of 2010. I'm a Jets fan. I would just capped my first year as a Jets fan, which the Jets ended in the AFC title game where they lost to the the Colts, excuse me. Heartbreaker to the Colts. Colts went on to the Super Bowl. We did not. But it was still a pretty successful year, Still pretty fun. Beat the Chargers, beat the Bengals in the playoffs. It was a fun year. Mark Sanchez, I believe, tied the record for playoff wins by a rookie. And was climbing up that road playoff win chart. I go to a little thing that year, and I did for a few years, called the Awanas, which is like youth group meets Boy Scouts. And, I'm going to it, pretty much every week. And they have a thing coming up that very week called Jersey Night, where everyone was supposed to wear jerseys for their favorite sports team. There were kids that would probably wear hockey. I remember the night, it was like hockey, football, baseball, basketball, soccer some people had. And I wanted to wear one for the Jets, but the problem was I didn't have a Jets jersey, and I was kind of bummed about it. Not bummed in like a kid way where I would whine about it. I was just like, shucks, I don't have a Jets jersey, that sucks. But, to my amazement, my dear sweet sister, Cassie, she's probably watching this video, she looks exactly like me. She, on her way home from her little, high school whatever job, decided to do something that I would never forget. A gift that I still have, will always have, and it's probably my most treasured sports memorabilia item that I own. And it's right here. I pulled it out of storage to show it to you all. It's a youth medium New York Jets Mark Sanchez jersey. I got this in 2010, and you can tell it was much loved from the fact that it is beat up. You can't see it perfectly in the light, but it is super beat up with the actual green coloring. Right here, it pretty much rubbed off where the seatbelt would be, this part of the 6. And it's very soft from how many times I wore this. But it is super beat up, as you can clearly see. So this was very loved. In its heyday, when it fit me, I legitimately probably wore that 4 to 5 times a week. The only days I wouldn't wear it were church and the day I'd wash it. And that was about it. And make no mistake, I tried to wear it to church many times. And sometimes I got away with it. Sometimes I did not. But my point being, this was the start, in my eyes, truly, of when I became a diehard Jets fan. And really, that was the start, because the Jets were the first team I started to follow, when I started to become a diehard sports fan. The person I am today, which is a sports maniac. I consume sports like football, baseball, and hockey. I consume it at such an insane level. And this was sort of the start of it. This was the Rosetta Stone, the start of my fandom for all these teams. I plan to go to college for sports journalism. This jersey is the start of the person I am and hope to be. So when I say that I'm a diehard Jets fan, and I've been here for over a decade, I've been insane for this team. So when Becton comes out and says that real fans wouldn't root for the team to lose, it irritates me a bit. Now, I love Mekhi Becton. He is a fantastic left tackle, fantastic rookie, and after just 12 games this season, has already proved himself to be a top tackle in the league. Not just for the Jets, but in the league. He got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. But when he comes out and says real fans wouldn't have wanted us to tank, and real fans wouldn't have been rooting for us to lose, I say, you're wrong. We aren't thinking about this season, about what 1 or 2 wins might have done. We're thinking about in 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years down the line. With Trevor Lawrence, we were thinking. And what that would do for the franchise. But then the Jets last week, they beat the Rams. And anyone who went to the players and gave them grief and threatened them, or their parents, people went after Becton's mom, you're disgusting. You are scum of the earth. and close to human garbage. I do not endorse that of what you did. I endorse being upset, being mad that we won. But to go at the players and to attack them, no. They're doing their jobs. I'm not going to blame them for doing what they want to do. They had to win. I'm a competitive person, and I can only imagine what losing 13 straight games would do to a person. Like, imagine if you could only play your favorite video game like 16 times a year. You'd want to win at least one of them. Even if it meant you got some great item going into the next one, like going into next year. You wouldn't care. So I understand them winning and wanting to win and celebrating it. But I don't appreciate him saying real fans wouldn't want this. I didn't want it going into the season. I wasn't in week 1 saying, oh boy, I hope the Jets go 0-16 so we can get Trevor Lawrence going into next year. I believed in Darnold. I thought this was a playoff team. I really did. I thought this was, at worst, a 7-9 team. I know some Jets fans had them at 6-10, and I can see that, but I was thinking 7-9. I didn't in my wildest dreams think we would go 0-13 to start the year, but we did. So that changes things. It really does. So the scoring recap, and that with that out of the way, time for the actual recap of the game. So to start the scoring, the Browns got a field goal, and then the Jets started, and they sent an absolute barrage at the Browns, who were 10-4 going into this game. Can you believe it? They had 10 wins. Back-to-back weeks now, twice in a row that the Jets beat teams with 9 more wins than them. It's mind-boggling. Anyway, so a Barrios touchdown from Jamison Crowder puts up 7-3. Jamison Crowder was the best quarterback for the Jets today. I'm sorry, it's true. Then, Chris Herndon caught a touchdown pass from Sam Darnold, 13-3 with a missed extra point from Sam Ficken. Then, Jamison Crowder with a touchdown pass from about, actually I think it was about 20 yards out. Make it 20-3, Jets going into halftime. Now, granted, the Browns started to come back in the second half. They ended up making it 16-20. And then the Jets would hit a field goal, make it 23-16. And that was it. The final 3 Browns drives went like this. With 6.5 minutes left, they punted. Makes sense, you're not trying to win the game after all. You're down 4 at that point. Then, with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, Terrell Basham. I'm going to go on a side tangent. The Jets' defensive line with Basham, John Franklin Myers, Full of Fatukasi, which, awesome name to say, Fatukasi, and Quentin Williams. That is a problem for the league. That is becoming a darn good defensive line, and I'm excited to watch that grow next year. Basham strip sacks Baker Mayfield. Jets get a field goal out of it. Great field position. And then with a minute and a half left in the game, Browns go turnover on downs in Jets territory. On 4th and 1, with a darn good running back in Nick Chubb and a darn good running back in Kareem Hunt, they have little Baker Mayfield try to do a quarterback sneak. Against a pretty good run-stopping defense. Smart win there, Browns. Kevin Stefanski, I liked you as coach. I think you were doing pretty good. That was a bad play call. So, that happened. The Jets win. Because why not? I want to get into some statistics that I find mind-boggling and just mind-numbingly stupid. Denzel Mims had 2 targets all game. He only had 2 more targets than I did today. Can you believe that? A rookie wide receiver that you're trying to build and mold had 2 targets. Mims can weave in and out of tight spaces. At least call a screen pass. Get him touches. What are you doing, Adam Gase? I say this. There was also a mind-numbing play earlier in the game where on 3rd and 1 they didn't use Frank Gore, who specializes in getting a yard or 2 yards, and on 3rd and 1 they didn't give it to him. And I say this. Adam Gase, here's the thing. There are a lot of bad coaches. But they're bad in ways that are they make a bad decision. Maybe they're not aggressive enough. Maybe they don't use their personnel correctly. Maybe they're just bad people. Maybe the locker room hates them. Adam Gase hits everything. I genuinely don't think Adam Gase understands football. And before someone says, Weston, you couldn't get to that point if you didn't understand football. Shut up. I don't think he understands it. For some reason, he was wanting to target Gore more this season than he wanted to target Bell. And even if you say, well, Weston, he played more games with the Jets than Bell did. I understand, but even if you go by rate basis, it's more so for Gore. Remember that wheel route in week 1 that he didn't use Bell for, but used Gore for? I genuinely don't think Gase understands football. A 3rd and 1 doesn't use Frank Gore. Instead, does this weird play-action bootleg with passing play, and my God, Jets. He also, for some reason, chose week 16 of his second year when they were 1-13 to whip out a trick play and have Jamison Crowder throw a touchdown pass. You did it, Adam. You did it. You finally found a game and a play where no one was expecting it. Congratulations. You found it. You did it. Congratulations. Here's your award. It's nothing. Told you I was going to get going. So, other statistics. John Franklin Myers had another pretty darn good game. A sack, a fumble recovery, and a tackle for loss. He's becoming an issue. Undrafted rookie free agent. John Franklin Myers. That Joe Douglas is just like, yeah, I'll try it. Working out pretty darn good. Him, Fatukasi, Basham, and Quinnen were making a darn good defensive line. Fatukasi also had a fumble recovery and a tackle for loss today. Marcus May had 7 tackles, which was tied for second on the team today. Pretty darn good for Marcus May, who was just voted team MVP. Like I said, Terrell Basham had a strip sack. On the offense, Sam Darnold, don't be deceived by the touchdowns, was bad. Not even hit 200 passing yards, was 16 of 32 for a 50% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns to players that were wide open, and 2 nearly dropped interceptions with a quarterback rating of 36.4 out of 100. Bad game by Sam Darnold. Do not be fooled. I'm looking at all the Jets fans who are saying, well, I mean, maybe we should roll with Sam Darnold. You know, if we got him in free agency in the draft, if we got him Penny Sewell in the draft, and we got him Brandon Sheriff from the Washington football team, and we got him Joe Thuney from the Patriots, and we go sign Galladay, and we go sign Allen Robinson, and we go get Marlon Mack, and we get him a top 5 coach coming out like Matt Campbell. You know, maybe he can prove all the doubters wrong. Shut up. No. It's time to move on from Sam Darnold. I'm so sick of people that are basically just saying, well, you know, if we gave him the AFC Pro Bowl team and a top 5 coach in the league, I think he could really be darn good. No. Move on. Let go of the baggage. Let go of your clutter. Use the Let Go app if you have to. We can't roll with Sam Darnold going into year 4. I'm sorry, because then what? Here's the thing. If you pass on Wilson and Fields, which first off, you already screwed yourselves out of Trevor Lawrence, so good job with that again. I can't emphasize how mad I am about that. But if you pass on Fields and Wilson, and next year Sam sucks, what do you do then? What do you say to the fan base? What do you say to everybody who goes, well, now we gotta restart the franchise again? It's mind-numbing to say we need to stick with Sam going into the next season. I'm going to live stream the draft. I'm going to, hopefully the full first round. I plan to. And if we pick anyone but Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, my pick is Zach Wilson. I'm in love with that prospect. If it's anyone but those two, I'm losing it. I am losing it at 2. Or if you want to try to trick Cincinnati into thinking we're going to take Sewell and, you know, swap picks a second for third and then take Wilson or Fields at 3, that'd also be acceptable. But if at our first pick in the first round is not Wilson or Fields, I'm losing it. I don't care if I'm on camera, I'm losing it that night. We cannot run it back with Sam Darnold. Also, just for the memes, Frank Gore had 14 rushes for 48 yards. Kill me. With the win, the New York Jets secure the 2nd overall pick in the upcoming draft, and the Jacksonville Jaguars clinch with the 1st overall pick in the 2021 NFL entry draft. Which means, I don't know the date of the draft, but sometime in mid-April, Trevor Lawrence will be a Jaguar. And the Jets, who were in the driver's seat for a very long time, will have to, even though I think Fields and Wilson are very good prospects, and I think Wilson can, with the right circumstances, be pretty close to as good as Trevor Lawrence is, will take the bridesmaid. Because the New York Jets, ladies and gentlemen. And I will say this, where was this team earlier in the year? If this team shows up in weeks 1 through 8, when everyone still kind of was like, I mean, maybe we can run it back with Sam again. This team shows up in those weeks, we're fine. We're not happy, but we're okay. You know, if when one of Sam's first 8 starts, this team shows up, we're fine. We don't get mad. We don't rant for 20 minutes, which is, I'm assuming, what this video is going to be. But it didn't. It showed up in week 15 and week 16 when we thought we had finally secured it. We thought we finally had that first overall pick. And I have this weird gut feeling. And I'm not happy that I have it, but I have this weird gut feeling that we're going to win next week in Foxborough. We're going to win. We're going to beat the Patriots in Foxborough. And then the Johnsons are going to say, well, Adam Gase, he took him till week 15, 16, and 17 to get a full healthy team, to get all of his guys all healthy and together. And when he was all healthy and good, he beat the Rams, who were a playoff team, the Browns, who were a playoff team, and the Patriots. And the Patriots, they're the best team to ever exist. We can't fire Gase now. We just finally got to see what he can do with all of his pieces together. And if we do that, I'm also going to lose my mind. There was talk that if the Jets lost today, we might think about firing Adam Gase tomorrow. And we're not now because we won. If I was the GM, I would still fire him tomorrow. I would have fired him the minute we hired him because it was a terrible hire. And I remember, I've been able to talk myself into a lot of things the Jets have done. I've talked myself into so many things the New York Jets have done over my lifetime. I tried to talk myself into Gase, and after, the first 5 minutes, I'm like, I can't. This is a bad pick. This is horrifying. Why do we pick Adam Gase? He was terrible in Miami. Why did we do this? And I just have this bad gut feeling that we're going to try to run it back with Gase and Darnold for a third year. And I can't take another year of this team. I really can't. So yeah, that's really it. That's all I have. I feel a bit better after ranting for 20 plus minutes about this terrible team. I'll be back next week to recap the Jets game. And just a little bit after that, I'll be back to start recapping the Rangers games. I'm really excited for that. I'm probably going to try, I know I keep saying it, I'm going to try to make a Astros video during the week this week. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for sticking with me in this video. Thank you, Jets fans, by the way, for being the most loyal fans in football. Because our 37-point loss at the hands of the Seahawks, where we lost 40-3, is my most-viewed video on this channel. It hit 236 last time I checked. Most-viewed video on the channel. And it was a 37-point loss. Thank you, Jets fans, for being the most loyal fan base in the NFL. And we gotta hope there's better times ahead. We gotta believe that with the second pick we get Zach Wilson, or Justin Fields. Because I can't. This team is rough. Thank you for sticking with me through this video. I'll be back next week. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. Thank you so very much for watching. And go Jets.